I'm Rabbi Sharon Steinberg. I feel very honored and privileged to be your guest clergy this morning. I'm from Temple Beth Shalom, Temple Beth Shira. From here in Boca Raton. But now I need to get serious because this is a very serious day. We're gathering to fulfill a sacred duty, to remember. We remember the 6 million Jews and millions of others who were murdered in the Holocaust. These 6 candles that are lit before you each represent 1 million Jews' souls today. We also remember the survivors who carried the scars of that horror, but rebuilt their lives with courage and resilience. And we remember the lessons that they left us, lessons that call us to action and reflection. As we reflect, it's important to understand the significance of the date we mark today, International Holocaust Remembrance Day. This day, January 27th, was established by the United Nations in 2005 as a global day of remembrance. It commemorates the liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau, the largest and most notorious Nazi death camp, on January 27, 1945, by Soviet forces. But the United Nations' recognition of this day is more than symbolic. It serves as a powerful response to Holocaust denial and distortion. In a time when anti-Semitism is on the rise, and some seek to diminish or outright deny the atrocities of the Holocaust, the UN's official commemoration sends an unequivocal message to the world. The Holocaust happened, and its lessons must never be forgotten. By establishing this day, the global community affirms the importance of preserving the truth and standing united in denial and against denial and hate. Auschwitz has become a symbol of the depths of human cruelty and the resilience of the human spirit. On this day, the world pauses to honor the victims of the Holocaust, reflect on the consequences of hatred and intolerance, and recommit to the fight against anti-Semitism, racism, and all forms of bigotry. This morning, I'd like to focus on a powerful idea that emerges from Holocaust stories and the Jewish sacred tradition, that attitude is everything. This is not to diminish the unspeakable suffering endured in the Holocaust, but rather to honor the strength, hope, and faith that emerged even in the shadow of death. Victor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, psychiatrist, and author of the book Man's Search for Meaning, which I recommend to everyone here, captured this lesson poignantly. He wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." Frankl endured unimaginable torment in the concentration camps, yet even there, he discovered that the human spirit possesses an extraordinary power, the ability to choose one's attitude in any circumstance. Frankl observed that those who found meaning, even in suffering, were more likely to survive. Meaning was rooted in small, defiant acts of humility and of humanity. Sharing a crust of bread, comforting a fellow prisoner, or imagining a future beyond the barbed wire. One extraordinary example of this resilience is the story of a Seder conducted in the camps. Starving and weak, a group of Jews gathered secretly to celebrate Passover. There was no matzah, no wine, and no traditional Seder plate. Yet they recited the Haggadah from memory, recalling the ancient story of liberation from Egypt. and one survivor recounted how they symbolically drank 4 cups by lifting empty cups to their lips. Through this act, they affirmed their connection to their faith, to each other, and to the enduring hope for freedom, even in the face of unimaginable oppression. This moment, like so many others during the Holocaust, reflects a core teaching of Jewish tradition, the power of hope and resilience. The Talmud teaches, whoever saves a single life is considered to have saved an entire world. In the camps, even small acts of kindness were life-saving. And in those moments, despite the horror, the essence of Jewish values, chesed, loving kindness, emunah, faith, and tikvah, hope, shone brightly. International Holocaust Remembrance Day also challenges us to consider our own attitudes as we confront the legacy of this tragedy. In the Torah, we are commanded, Zachor lo tishkach, remember, do not forget. This dual command is instructive. To remember is to keep alive the stories of those who perished and those who survived. To not forget is to transform memory into action. What does this mean for us today? It means choosing an attitude of vigilance against anti-Semitism, racism, and bigotry. It means choosing an attitude of compassion, standing with the oppressed and marginalized. And it means choosing an attitude of hope, inspired by the resilience of those who came before us. As we remember today, we also turn to prayer. One of the most moving prayers of the Jewish tradition is El Malei Rachamim, the memorial prayer. In its words, we find both lamentation and hope, a plea for peace and eternal rest for those we honor. I will be chanting it in Hebrew, followed by the recitation in English. For this most holy prayer, I request that you stand. Malei Rachamim, shochen b'mromim, hamtzeh menucha nechona tachat kanfei ha'shechina b'malot kadoshim u'tachorim k'zohar ha'mazirim l'nishmot sheshet milyon anashim v'hataf מבית ישראל שנהרגו, שנחנקו, שנשרפו ושנספו בשואה. יהי זכרם ברוך, תחת כנפי השכינה תנוחם, בעדן הנחו בשלום על משכבותיהם, ונאמר Amen. God, full of mercy, who dwells in the high heavens, grant perfect rest beneath the sheltering wings of your presence among the holy and pure who shine like the brightness of the heavens. To the souls of the 6 million men, women, and children of the house of Israel who were slaughtered, suffocated, and burned. May their memory be a blessing, and may they rest in paradise. May the Master of Mercy shelter them in the shadow of his wings forever, and bind their souls in the bond of life. Adonai, the Lord, is their portion. May they rest in peace. And let us all say, Amen. The candles we lit this morning are a candle for us as well. It's a flame of resilience, compassion, and hope. May their memories inspire us to build a world where the lessons of the Holocaust are never forgotten and where justice, peace, and dignity can prevail to all. Amen. Thank you. Please be seated.